west side, the north side, Chi-town. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Quintessential Queens podcast on IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeartRadio station. I want to thank you all for tuning in, watching us today. Watch us. We are on 24/7. There's plenty of stuff here for you to watch, plenty of topics for you to think about and talk about. And today, I had many questions because I reached out to you all and you reached back to me telling me what was on your mind and what you wanted to talk about. So today, this podcast is a Speak in Your Mind podcast. I want you to tell me what you think. I want you to ask any questions that you want to ask. Please be mindful that it's a radio show and that people are out here listening to you. So, be mindful of your speech. But then, breaking news for all of you political people out there, everybody who's paying attention, even if you're not usually a political person, the state of the country and who's running it should be something on your mind, and it's something you should care about because you live here. Biden dropped out of the race. Biden dropped out of the presidential race that we all are going to be voting for in a few short months. So that's breaking news for everybody. So any of you who then know, I'm breaking it for you. And I need to thank our producers, Earl and Wanda. Earl is the one who broke the news to me because I didn't know either. And I am quite shocked about it. So I want you all to call in. Tell me what you think about it, even if you're for it, if you're against it, if you are indifferent. Call and tell me what you think about this because this is very interesting. The state of the country, the state of how the world is going to be for our children, because the way the US works has a lot to do with the way the world works. How do we get along with other countries and other people? And any of you that travel as an American, sometimes I'm sure you run into people who they're not really thinking that much about you and they're not that friendly. I've traveled to different countries and some of them were not very friendly to me because I was an American, not friendly to us. And then other countries, they'll put you in the forefront. They'll let you go through the lines first because of it. But I haven't pretty much experienced that one. I can't say that every travel I've had has been a bad experience, but I definitely had the experience that they weren't polite, they weren't nice, and they weren't going to help me because I was an American. I believe people are telling me that that's changing a little bit. Folks who are still traveling now. I haven't done much traveling since COVID, but the people that are out there, they're telling me things are a little different, things are a little better. We want things to be better for ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and so on and so forth. Generational better. Biden dropping out of the race means who is running for the Democrats? Who is going to run or be the Democratic candidate? So he's endorsing, of course, VP Kamala Harris. That's the endorsement. I want to know what you all think. Is it an appropriate endorsement? Can you think of somebody else that should be stepping in these shoes? Are you okay with it? Are you not okay with it? Call in and let me know. Let me know what you think. This is breaking news and it's important news because it affects all of us, not just Democrats. It affects everybody. In the meantime, you all did reach out to me and give me questions. You had questions about certain things. You wanted to know what I thought, how I could help. I also want to know what you think. Tell me what you think about some of these questions I'm going to ask and how would you answer them? And please call in. The number is here. It's 708 223 8953. Please call in 708 223 8953. I want to hear what you think. I have a couple of questions here. So I'm going to roll to something a little different. One of the questions that was asked on Facebook and when I was out talking to the people, since the last podcast I was here, we were talking about relationships. Someone asked me, can a Muslim and a Christian have a successful relationship? A Muslim and a Christian, someone of the Muslim faith dating or even marrying someone of the Christian faith. Now, I have a friend out there, Mike. Mike is a Muslim, and Mike answered this question for us in a group that I'm in on Facebook. And his answer was, it was quite remarkable and quite great. Mike, if you listening, call in. For me, what I would say, I'm going to say, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if your core beliefs don't really match, it is really, really hard to be successful in intimate contact or friendly contact, family contact. If your relationship is not serious, then it's not going to matter. But if it becomes serious, how are you going to raise your children? How are you going to raise your children? Plenty of people say, well, when they get old enough, they can decide. What about before they're old enough? How are you raising them when they're babies, 1, 5, 10, 15? How are you raising them? For me, I would say no. I don't think it would work out. I really do believe that you have to have the same core beliefs. And a lot of times that core belief means that you practice the same religion. I think it's hard to practice 2 or 3 different religions under the same roof. My opinion. That's my opinion. And let me be very clear. I'm not sharing my roof with anybody. It's just me. I have dated men of different faith, and I can't say if that's the reason the relationship didn't work out, but I find it very difficult for us to be under the same roof and we don't have the same core beliefs. And core beliefs extend more than just religion. It extends more than what you practice, as far as who your higher power is. But if you have an opinion about that, call on in. Call in and tell me what you think. I say no. Some of you might say yes. I'm gonna slide back to Biden dropping out of the race. The number 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. I'm very interested in hearing your opinions about this. And it's breaking news within like the last 10, 15 minutes. So everybody should be getting an earful. Everybody should be processing this and process it quick, because it's not like we have a lot of time to figure out what we're going to do about that. We don't have a whole bunch of time to figure out who should step in, who would run this country the best. I do know the opposition the best. No, Imma just be honest. I don't feel that other person is the best for this country. So now it's probably some of you Republicans out there, they got something to say about that. Call in and say what you need to say. Call in and give me your opinion. I'm willing to listen. I'm all ears. I am listening to what it is you have to say. If you have anything about the question I just asked with Christians and Muslims marrying or dating, would that be a successful situation? Call in and let me know how you feel. Call in and tell me what you think. So those are two questions on the table. Two questions that I did get from family, friends, and fans. Thank you, fans. Thank you, family. Thank you, friends, for reaching back to me with how you feel about certain things. And I did write those things down. I wrote down questions and I did write down some of your opinions. But if you're available, just call into the show and tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about those two things. We got two things on the table: Biden dropping out of the race. If two people of two different faiths can have a successful relationship or marriage, and particularly Christians and Muslims, that was actually the two religions that the person who gave me this question asked. But I'm sure it can go for many of the many religions that we have, many of the many faiths that are out there. How you feel about dating someone of a different faith, or even marrying someone and raising your children with someone of a different faith, and going into it that way. People find God or their higher power sometimes after they're married or after they've been in a relationship. So that may change things. But if you go into it knowing this, that your core belief is completely different from mine, how do we work on that? Will we be successful, or are we just exercising in futility? So we got those two questions. Please call in 708-223-8953. I have another question, one that always gives me, I pause about it and I think about it, because our society is changing, the world is changing, how we deal with each other is changing. And one of the questions someone asked me, they wanted to know, why don't we talk about and how do I feel about polygamy or polyamory? Polygamy or polyamory? I'm gonna just tell you right now, no for me. So, first of all, polygamy, everybody has a definition that they believe about these two things. What is polygamy? What is polyamory? They're not the same. They're not the same. And I got these answers from people who practice polygamy and polyamory. Polygamy is really the marriage where there are different wives, not a husband. Now, the people I talk to, they're not several husbands. There's one king, a queen, and whatever they call the rest of them. Like like sister wives. I heard some women refer to themselves as that. But so polygamy really is that it's a marriage, a man with different wives. And a man who practices polygamy told me that the man needs to be able to take care of all of those women. You need to be financially able to take care of this family. You're going to have these women, you're going to have these children. You need to be able to take care of them financially. So don't think just because you got a harem of females that you practicing this. You're not. You just being out there. That's what I say. Polyamory is different. Polyamory is where you have different partners and everyone is transparent about it. Everyone is transparent about who they're with and why they're together. And they believe that society works for them. Everybody's honest, pretty much. Honest, transparent. It could be two, three, four, five lovers. And they pretty much kind of share each other. That's what was going on. So I know at one forum I was at, a man said, well, you're sharing whether you know it or not. Whether you want to believe it or not, you share it. I can get that. I understand what he's saying. The only issue I have with sharing is, one, the line. Don't lie about it. If I'm talking to you about it, if I'm asking you questions about it, don't lie about it. Don't tell me it's just me and it's not just me. And I'm not going to tell you it's just you if it's not just you. That's how it's supposed to go. The flip side of that is, I don't want to hear about all these other people you dating. I don't want to hear about it. All you have to do is tell me you're dating. I don't need names. I don't need descriptions. I don't need none of that. I don't need what you're doing and when you did it. I don't, that's too much information for me. That's too much information for me. Because I ain't really down with it. I just gotta say it. I'm not down with that. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. People think I'm a prude when I talk about this. Like, what's wrong with you? What is the problem with you? Or that I'm naive and that this is what's going on in the world, and that I'm a fool if I think I'm dating a guy and it's just me and him, or that he's a fool if he think he's dating me and it's just me and him. If it's not just me and him, I'll let him know I'm dating, and then I'll let him come to me and talk to me about making the relationship more serious. For me, I am truly, I believe in monogamy. It might be not a very popular opinion right now, but I believe in monogamy. I really believe that you can find one person that you grow and build with. You can find one person to share the rest of your life with. That's what I want. That's what I believe in. Now, those of us living in this world, we already know. Do you know how hard it is to actually be under the roof with one person and you talking about two, three, or four other people? We probably kill each other before we built anything together. We probably wouldn't even make it. It'd be so many fights going on up in there. And I honestly don't believe that there's not some jealousy going on in there. I have some friends that are from different countries, and polygamy is practiced as they grow up. It's a normalized thing. It's nothing to even question for them. And a lot of them tell me that their moms were jealous of the first wife, or the first wife was jealous of their mother, and that a lot of negative things happen in their community, meaning under their roof when I say their community, because of that. So it's not a cure all for anything, in my opinion. It's not a panacea for anything, in my opinion. But I do respect the fact that other people, other countries practice this regularly. It's normal, it's what they do. Here, over here, you kind of you have choices, but you might go to jail if the government finds out you got more than one wife, unless you can kind of surface it under a religion and they let you do it. I don't know. It's always some loopholes with this country and the laws that we have about marriage, relationships, and people. But for me, no. It's a no for me. If you all have an opinion about that, 708 223 8953. If you feel differently, please call me. If you feel the same, please call me. If you have another adjunct you might want to throw in there and say, well, instead of polygamy or polyamory or even monogamy, let's do this. You got a different idea about it? Go ahead and throw it in there. Throw it in the chat if you're watching. Call this number and let me know how you feel about these things. We got a few topics on the table here. Number one being that Biden has dropped out of the race. So for anyone who's not aware, for anyone who doesn't know, the Democratic candidate that we thought we were going to have, we do not have him. He's dropped out of the race. No reason has been given yet, but of course we've been hearing things for weeks now that constituents were asking him to do that, and the Democratic people that are Democrats were asking him to step down out of the way because they felt like that he's ill or that he's sick. There's been rumors running around about that. Nothing confirmed, mind you, nothing that we have any facts about, and nothing was said in the announcement to why he's dropping out of the race. No reason was given to the public for why he's not our candidate anymore. What you have been hearing are opinions and conjectures. No one's confirmed anything. No one from Biden's cabinet, no one from the White House, no one from Biden's campaign has confirmed why he's not in the race. So that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on that information. And if you all are out there watching the news while you're watching the show, because I know you're watching the show, call in and let us know what the updates are. They may have something updated at the moment about what's going on with our Democratic presidential candidate dropping out of the race. So Biden has dropped out of the race, you all. Tell me how you feel about it. Please give me a ring. Let me know what's going on in your mind. What are we going to do? That's my next question too. What are we going to do? Who's going to step into those shoes? Who's going to step into that spot for us? And by us, I mean Democrats. And everybody's in this country, right? Everybody that's here in this country, you're going to be affected by whoever steps into those shoes. So please call this number, 708 223 8953. I am waiting to hear your opinions. I am waiting to hear how you all feel about this. This is your country too. This is your country too. That everything that goes on here, everything that goes on in Washington affects you and me, our children, our friends, the people we like, the people we don't like. It affects everyone that continues to live here. That's the number one topic on the table. The second topic was, do you believe a Muslim and a Christian can have a successful relationship? Do you believe a Muslim and a Christian can have a successful marriage? Or let's expand that. Let's expand that question. Do you believe people of two different faiths can have a successful relationship or a successful marriage? Can they live under the same roof, raise their children under the same roof, build a life together, build a legacy together? Is that possible, or is it difficult? Is it hardship? I want to know what you all think. I already told you what I think. So far, everything I've said has been like, no, no, no. No to the I don't believe that if your core beliefs match that you're going to be successful. If they don't match, pardon me. I don't believe a Muslim and a Christian can have a successful relationship or marriage. I don't believe that. Um the polygamy and polyamory was the next question on the table. It's a no for me. It's just a no for me. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Not for me. It's not something for me. I know a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of you reached back to me when I reached out and asked you these things. These questions actually came from you all. These questions came from friends, family, and fans. These questions came from you all. So far as no, no, no for both questions to me. Polygamy, polyamory, no. Different faiths under the same roof, successful marriage and relationship? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. No. And I'm just as, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm perplexed about Biden dropping out of the race too. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to step into his shoes. What are we going to do? That's going to be a pondering question on my mind from now till November. But I do hope we get somebody in there quickly. He has endorsed Kamala Harris. That is a fact. That was part of the breaking news when he dropped out of the race, that Kamala Harris is the candidate that he is endorsing. Who her VP is going to be, I don't know. I haven't heard that news yet. But any of you who are out there watching, if you got that info, please call in and tell us. Tell us what they're saying. Tell us where you are from, who you are, and where you heard that news. And also just give us your opinion. We got topics on the table here. Polygamy, polyamory, you for it, against it? That's on the table. Can a Muslim and a Christian have a successful relationship? That's on the table. And however you feel about Biden dropping out of the race, that's on the table. I am waiting for fans, family, and friends. Call in and tell me whether you think. I'll give you the number again, 708-223-8953. I've given my opinion about it, told you how I feel about it. I can give you a few opinions from some of you who sent me these questions. Pardon me. Excuse me. So, a few people out there told me that they were polyamorous, but I don't think they quite understood the definition of it. Polyamory doesn't mean just regular dating, that you have different male suitors, or that you're dating two or three females at the same time. That's not polyamory. That's regular dating. You can see who you want when you want. Polyamory is, they are very transparent about their relationships with each other. With each other, it could be one, two, or three of them together, and they're very honest about it, and they may even be intimate together, the two, three, four of them. But they're fine with it. They talk about it. There's that honesty that people were always saying that you want. Be honest, tell me if you're seeing somebody else, or if you're sleeping with somebody else. You don't got to tell me all of that. Just tell me that long as I know it's not just me and you, and you're not lying to me about it being me and you, I don't need all those descriptions. I know people say they want to know. I really don't want to know. I don't really want to hear all of that. All you're going to do is successfully upset me. So just tell me the truth as far as what we are, as women are always saying. Well, where's this relationship going? What are we? Men told me they can't stand those two questions. I don't know if it's true or not, but please let me know. If any man out there, I want to hear your opinion too. We are the quintessential queens, but we recognize quintessential kings. Please call in. We have nothing against the kings out there. Kings, queens, we need each other. Call us and let me know what you think. So what I was saying is, the men have told me they don't like when women ask them this question. What are we? Where are we going? Why? Why you don't like it? Don't you want to know what's on this woman's mind? If she's trying to marry you and you all have only been dating 2, 3 weeks, don't you want to know that? Wouldn't you want to know that? That, yeah, she is really going over the edge with that one. Or you might feel the same way. And it's something that you can talk to her about. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it should just be me and you. I'm thinking maybe we can raise a family together. But how many people actually say when they're not thinking that way? If one of you is just, I'm in love, I'm just in love, and the other one is like, we just went out on a couple of dates, we just dating. That's the unequalness I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. One of you is just crazy in love, planning a wedding, telling your friends and family that, I want you to meet this person. And this person is like, I'm just having a little fun. I don't, what is this meet the family business about? We just having fun. We just friends with benefits. Somebody forgot to talk to somebody up in here. Somebody forgot to communicate what their true plans were, or what your true intention is. That's what relationships boil down to for me. intention. What is your intention? Is your intention to play around with me and lie to me and move on? Is my intention to take all your money and move on? Or is my intention to treat you like a human being? Because that's simple to me, but I think we make it pretty hard. So back to the polygamy, polyamory, monogamy for me. I do believe in dating. I'm not a polyamorous person and I am not a polygamous person, and I do not endorse them. But please don't take that to mean that I think something's wrong with you if you do. I don't. You have the freedom to do that. We're just talking about what I believe. And if you want to tell me what you believe, call in. The lines are open. I am waiting to hear from you. I'm waiting to hear from friends, fans, and family. I'm waiting to hear how you feel about these topics I put on the table. How do you feel about monogamy, polygamy, polyamory? Is it something you endorse? Is it something you're disgusted by? Is it something that, yeah, you could try it out, but maybe, maybe not? Let me know. Call in and tell me. 708-223-8953. That's one topic on the table. The second topic was faith, interfaith relationships. If you are of a different faith, different religion, can you have a successful marriage or a successful relationship? In particular, the specific question that was given to me was a Muslim and a Christian. Can they have a successful relationship or a successful marriage? That's the topic on the table. Topic number two, those two topics: polygamy, polyamory, monogamy. Tell me what you think. Interfaith relationships, a Muslim, a Christian. Can it be? Or is it a waste of time? Exercise in futility. Can it be? And then, of course, the number one topic on the table is Biden dropping out of the presidential race. So, our Democratic candidate has dropped out of the race. Biden is no longer running for president. He is endorsing Kamala Harris. An endorsement. I don't know if she's taking the endorsement. I don't even know if she's running because it's breaking news maybe in the last 20, 30 minutes. And any of you, like I've said before, if you got that info, call us and tell us. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you're seeing. Tell us what's going on out there. Because I'm hearing these beautiful walls, so I'm not hearing what the news is saying. I'm not hearing what's going on out there. And like I said earlier, I have to thank my producer Earl for even telling me Biden dropped out of the race. I didn't know that. That's some quick news that just popped up like wow. But I'm sure a lot of people aren't surprised because folks were asking for him to do that. But I will tell you, I didn't think he was going to. I thought it was just, more conjecture, more people just speaking their minds publicly when I think they probably should have been quiet. And I didn't think it was going to happen, but here we are. It has occurred. It has happened. 708-223-8953. Call in and tell me what you think. Call in and tell me what you feel, because this is a Speak Your Mind podcast today. I want you all to feel free to speak. Of course, mind your words when you're calling. There are people listening, and we want to be respectful with our transparency. We want to be respectful with our truth. So feel free to call in and let me know how you feel about this. Biden dropping out of the race affects it affects everybody. It affects the entire country. Whether you were endorsing him or not, this is a very, very hot topic. This is a very, very topic for conversation. It's a topic to sit back and ponder because, wow, now what? Who's running against that other guy? Who's running against him? Hard question to ask, probably an even harder question to answer. But I will repeat again, Biden has endorsed Kamala Harris. He has endorsed her for the presidential candidate, the Democratic presidential candidate. Three topics on the table. Anytime you feel, pick up that phone, dial this number, and ring in, please. I'm sure some of you may feel differently than I do about the other two topics that I spoke. I'd like to hear about that. I'd like to know what you think. As I stated before, I'll reiterate, people have told me that they believe I'm operating out of a state of naivete, not endorsing polyamory. I'm not naive by far. Not been on the earth too long for that. It's just not something I'm embracing. I don't embrace it, but I know plenty of people who do. Plenty of people who they find it very fitting and they find it very satisfying. I would like to hear from some of those people. I know some people that are they practice, it's not polygamy, but I know some people that, they're married and they're very fine and okay with their spouses still dating. Okay, someone, to me, that's crazy. I'm just going to tell you. That's how I feel. That's crazy. Why get married if you're going to do that? But it depends on what your definition of marriage is. Is your definition a Christian definition? That is, it's you and the wife, you and the spouse, you let no man put your love asunder, that it's just the two of you, you forsake all others. That's the definition I have, because that's how I would like it to be. That's what I want. I don't want a husband or a man who has to have all these different partners. If we're getting married, that's over with. But like I said, there are people who they are married and they say they're fine with it, but I find it hard to believe that they're fine with that. So if any of you know anything about that, please call in. And if I would think you aren't embarrassed about it, if you don't want to give your name when you call, you don't have to. You could just let me know what the topic is and how you feel about it. And we're perfectly okay with that. I just want to give my opinion too, to let you know how I feel about it. Maybe you can change my mind. Who knows? Maybe you can change Speaking with Dee's mind. Maybe I'll feel differently when I walk out of these doors today. All right, you all. I am waiting and listening for this phone to ring. Friends, family, and fans, let me know. Let me know. And if you're not able to make it in, or call in, I should say, before we wrap up, you can go to intellectualradio.com. You can go to the Quintessential Queens, and you can go to Speaking with D. You can tell me how you feel about this show in the chat. You can let me know your opinions in the chat about the three topics that I was discussing and about any other topic you might want us to discuss on the Quintessential Queens podcast here on intellectualradio.com. And when you come to intellectualradio.com, subscribe to the channel. There are so many shows on intellectualradio.com. There is something here for everybody. And I mean everybody. Many topics are being discussed. Many opinions are being given. Subscribe to the channel and listen. We stream 24/7. There's always something here for you all to listen to. So my three topics: polyamory, polygamy, or monogamy. One topic: can two different faiths, and particularly Muslim and Christian, can they have a successful relationship? And of course, Biden dropping out of the presidential race. The Democratic candidate Biden has dropped out of the race. If you're unable to call in, please put it in the chat. Put it in our chats. You got spots to go to: intellectualradio.com, Quintessential Queens, and you have Speaking with D. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you might want to hear us talking about. I want to hear from you. I want you all to tell me what you're thinking. Tell me how you feel. It's important. You're our fans. Tell us what's going on with you. I want to send a special shout out to Wanda B. Wanda, we still here. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for you. You're a strong person. Can't wait till you get back here. Can't wait till you get back. Okay, Wanda. Can't wait to see you. We waiting on you over here. We waiting on you, ma'am. All right, everybody. Let me thank our producers, Earl Winfrey, Wanda B. And I also want to thank Ms. Rhea Ray Harris. She also hosts this show. You will see her here soon, sitting in this seat with a guest over here. So you all remember, please turn in. Tune in. I'm sorry. Please tune in. IntellectualRadio.com, Quintessential Queens podcast. We are an iHeart radio station. Thank you all for watching. Please tune in. I can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah. I see you, baby. Get
Get your shine on. Get your glow up. One time for the babies on the south side, the east side, the west side, the north side, Chi-town. Hey, oh. There's a song in your song. It can flow from short to long. In your song, you are the story. Getting past your past, struggling with your past. It'll pass. It'll pass. You're there, over there. You're torn from where and there. It'll bear. You'll get there. I know what I know. I suffered more than you know. Yet I can grow. In the cold, in the cold. There's always something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you beautiful, it makes you. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. There's always something inside of you. Something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you you. Yeah. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. Find it in the afterglow. Flows from the bellows of your soul. And you know it's what you put here for. And it's clear, so clear, the reasons why you're here. It appears you can change the atmosphere. There's something incredible within the meeting of the minds. Like, if you were been kind, spare our brother a dime. He can take a red line to 100 lifetimes. And you wouldn't mind it because God had already prepared for you a place to be ageless, where you can brush your face with lilies and sing songs of the keeper. There's always something inside of you. There's always something inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you beautiful, makes you beautiful. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. There's always something inside of you. Inside of you. It makes you beautiful, makes you you. Yeah, yeah. Be the sun that makes the flowers grow. Be the spirit child, be the you that's meant to grow. Fire in the afterglow. The glow of love is in you, now shine like the stars do. It's in the cards for you, you can go beyond the deep blue. No bars are set in the conquest. Illuminate the sky in scarlet hues if you believe you are the truest. If you are Savior or Judas, your heart will speak what your truth is. Now let the chatter be the catalyst. Let it fuel the music. Don't adjust your volume, say it loud and let them hear you, then smudge the residue. And whatever you did, you can undo. Black gold is attained. History is unchangeable. But until time runs out, the future is changeable. Bring forth the balm and let the healing heal on. Time moves today and tomorrow is already gone. Transcend the stratosphere and get your glow up. Transcend